So you know that you need to start posting on Instagram stories for your brand or business, but maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by all of the different options for content creation within the app, or maybe you're just feeling stumped as to what you should even be creating to engage with your audience and provide value for them in stories. Well, don't worry, my friend, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the ultimate guide to Instagram stories for beginners, including how they can fit into your strategy for growth and for generating sales, and how to actually make them. We're going to get my phone out, walk you through all the steps, and by the end of this, you'll be feeling confident and ready to start creating Instagram stories for yourself. Oh, and by the way, before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Welcome to Creatorly Media. I'm Katie. I'm the founder. You might recognize me from my personal YouTube channel. If you found your way over here, I'm so glad to have you. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because here on this channel, my team and I are going to be sharing Instagram, podcasting, and YouTube tips every single week. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe. Also, because I'm so glad that you're here and that you found this new channel, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments, because I want to make sure that we get to know everybody that's a part of our community here on the Creatorly Media YouTube page. So introduce yourself, drop your Instagram handle in the comments, and we can all meet up there. Okay, with introductions out of the way, let's get into it. First of all, what is an Instagram story? If you spend time on Instagram at all, then you'll know there are so many different kinds of content, or what Instagram refers to as surfaces, including the feed, Reels, IGTV, Lives, and of course, stories. So how are stories differentiated from all these other different kinds of content? Well, first of all, Instagram stories are in a vertical format, and they are photos or videos shared in up to 15-second clips that your followers can tap through and view in a full screen vertical format. This content is only live and available for viewing for up to 24 hours after you've posted it, and after that, it disappears unless you add it to one of the highlights on your profile. As your followers are tapping through your stories, after your story finishes, Instagram will automatically start showing them the next person in their stories feed lineup to watch. So you can imagine from the end user's point of view, they're tapping through, they're seeing other people's content, and then automatically yours will pop up on their screen. Honestly, it's a good thing that you're here and watching this video, because stories are probably the most popular part of the app right now, with most users reporting that they automatically go to watching through their stories before they even start scrolling through the feed. For the most part, your story views are going to come from your followers, unlike other types of content on Instagram, like Reels, where a lot of your views might come from folks who are not already following your account because of the discoverability in the Reels algorithm. If that sounds complicated and overwhelming, don't worry, we'll make future videos about that too. So you can assume when you're creating your stories content that, for the most part, the people seeing your stories probably already know who you are and what you do. This means that when you create content for your stories, you want to focus on creating stuff that really connects with your audience on a personal level, shows a little bit more of your personal side. It doesn't have to be strictly in your niche. And ultimately, it's all about building that like, know, and trust factor with your followers. Okay, so now that we've covered the strategy behind stories and how they fit into the big picture of your Instagram content, let's actually look at how to make them. To create an Instagram story, you can start by either tapping on your profile picture, where you'll see a little blue plus icon. This will show up if you don't currently have any active stories, or if you do, you can swipe from the home screen to the right so that you can open up the stories editor. Now you can either take a photo or a video in the app directly, or if you'd like, you can actually tap on the button in the bottom left-hand corner to upload something from your camera roll. For the sake of this example, let's just take a photo. Now that you have this photo, there are so many options of other interactive pieces or just cute visual things that you can add to your story to make it a little bit more engaging. The first thing that you'll probably want to do is tap on the two A's in the top right-hand corner so you can add text. You can add a message about how your day is going, or even ask a question. And your audience can reply by sending you a DM. Okay, so text is one thing that you can add. Once you've added it, obviously you can move it around the screen, make it bigger or smaller, change the color or the font. So many different options here to make it feel on brand for you. Another thing you can do is draw on your story. So you can select the little pen tool. Again, choose whatever color you want, choose different brushes, and, add your little drawings to circle something or, indicate the importance of something. If you mess up, you can always hit undo or use the eraser tool to erase different sections of your lines. So those are the basics. Now let's open up the Instagram story sticker tray and show you all the different options that you have here. If you start scrolling through, you'll see there's a lot of fun different visuals, but the few things at the top are definitely going to be the most important when it comes to creating engagement with your audience. You can ask questions by adding a question box, and then when you go back and view your story, or if you look in your notifications tab, you'll be able to see people's responses or questions that they've submitted to the sticker. You can also add a poll, so you can ask a question and then have your followers vote yes or no. Or, of course, you can add other options. Something that I like to do is add thumbs up or, thumbs down or whatever, and have two different options that are just emojis. There's so many different things that you can do with this. You can also add a quiz, so you can just tap on this little quiz button and you actually can cycle through some randomly generated questions and then add in your own options. Or of course, you can just create your own questions to begin with. You can, add in a few different TV shows for this. Does anybody really know how to spell Jeopardy? You know what? We're gonna skip that. And it'll give you the option to add more options to your quiz as you go. That's a pretty fun one. And finally, we also have the slider sticker. So you can add that, choose whatever emoji you want for that little slider thing. You can ask a question like, is this hot out for you? How much do you like strawberries? Do you want to hire me for my services? And that's pretty much the extent of the different interactive features on stories. I highly, highly recommend using these at least once a day in the stories that you're creating, because it's a really great way to get your audience to stop just tapping through and actually pause, take in what you've created and interact with it in some way. And it can also be a really great way to get feedback and then figure out how you can change your direction on your content moving forward. If you ask a poll of like, would you like to see more stuff about Instagram on this YouTube channel or more stuff about podcasting? Let me know. That's the kind of thing that you can do on your stories. Okay, so we've pretty much covered the engagement side of Instagram stories. So let's create a new one. We'll start fresh here. And now I'm going to tell you about different features that can help actually increase the reach of your Instagram story. So like I was saying before, your stories are mostly going to be viewed by people who are already following you. However, there are a few ways that you can increase the reach of your stories and actually maybe even get them in front of potential new followers. So let's open up that sticker tray again, and you'll see that the top 3 give us a couple options that allow us to essentially link our Instagram story to other places on the platform. So first, let's talk about hashtags. You can add hashtags either using the hashtag sticker or just by typing them out in the text section. Adding hashtags to your story does give them the opportunity to show up in the story for that hashtag. So if somebody was browsing through the hashtag social media manager tag on Instagram, I might just pop up in the story for that tag. Now, one of the hacks that a lot of people like to do to keep your story looking clean and not cluttered is you can add a hashtag and then you can actually just drag it off screen. And now it's not showing up visually on the story, but it actually is still associated with your story, which gives you the chance to show up in the story for that hashtag. How many times can I say story in this video? So that's one option. Another really great way to increase the reach of your story is to add a location. So I might add my city, and again, I can drag it off screen or I can keep it there. This is probably the most popular way to increase your reach on stories because there's more people looking through stories for locations, I find, than stories for hashtags, just because if people are thinking about traveling somewhere or looking for something to do, they might go through a city's location tag to see what other people are up to. So this can be a really great way to potentially gain new followers from people in your area or from a place that you traveled to or wherever you're tagging. And finally, the last thing you can do is add an at mention. So I might tag Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram. See if I get a share from Adam over there. This doesn't inherently increase your reach, but if you are creating content that is relevant to another creator and you tag them, they might just share it to their own story, which would then get your content in front of their audience. So just to review, by adding hashtags, location tags, or tagging other creators on Instagram, you do give your content the opportunity to get in front of more eyes than just your own followers. Finally, let's talk about some of the fun stuff, just ways that you can add cool visuals to your stories. So again, we're gonna open up that sticker tray. This is really where all the magic happens. You could add GIFs to your story by just tapping on that GIF sticker, and then you can search through the whole library. So you can see what's trending. Maybe I like this little coffee morning GIF, or you can look for something that's particularly relevant to the content of your story. So maybe I'll search palm trees. And now I can add a little animated one to my shirt. This can be a fun way to spice up the visuals of your story. Another thing you can do to add additional interest is actually by using stickers from your own camera roll. So if you tap on this little camera icon, it brings up photos that you have saved. So for instance, if I want to share about this new YouTube video that I made, I can share this screenshot that I took of the thumbnail, and then I can arrange it, and maybe I could even type in like, check out my latest video. And that's a really great way to add a little bit more dimension to your stories, and you can do it all within the Instagram app. It's so cool, all the features that Instagram has for us now, because over the years there have been different ways to kind of hack your way into the same results. Like Instagram didn't used to have the sticker button for your camera roll, and so you had to do this whole copy and paste trick, but now it's so easy, and it's a really great feature to take advantage of to connect with your followers more often and share content that's fun to make and not just strictly within your brand or your niche. Overall, remember that when it comes to making your stories, you are most likely talking to your existing followers that already know who you are, and they kind of know what you're about, what you're selling. So let your stories be an opportunity to build that like, know, and trust factor. Share a little bit more of yourself and your personality, and just show up every single day. Get in front of your followers' eyeballs, remind them that you're there. And that is really going to help you in the long run when it comes to your Instagram growth strategy. If you're still feeling uncertain about what kind of content you would actually make for your Instagram stories, don't worry, we've got a video for you all about it. Go check out this video next about 5 ideas of things that you can create for your story as a business. These don't require you to be a personal brand or even show up on camera, so you're gonna wanna go check those out. But again, before you go watch that, please subscribe. We're so excited to have you over on the new Creatorly Media YouTube channel, and we can't wait to share more Instagram, YouTube, and podcasting tips with you here every single week. Thanks so much for watching, and keep on creating.